I've just requested that the Governor-General dissolve Parliament and call an election for April 28th.
But making and defending Canada wasn't easy either. And with change, there's hope. So I say, to the struggling single mother who worries how she will feed her kids, hope is on the way. To the 35-year-old still living in mom's basement but dreaming of owning his own place and starting a family, change is on the way. To the seniors choosing between eating and heating. And to all those who wonder what happened to the country that they knew and loved, change and hope are both on the way. A new Conservative government will restore Canada's promise, the promise that anyone from anywhere can do anything, that hard work gets you a great life in a beautiful home, on a safe street, under a proud flag. To preserve that flag and uphold its promise, we must work together, fight together, and win together for our people, for our land, for our home, for Canada first, for a change.
Only New Democrats can be trusted to look out for you.
My little boy understands something the Liberals do not, which is that in baseball and in politics, it's 3 strikes and you're out.
We reverse that increase in the capital gains tax because we believe that builders, fishers, and those who take risks should be rewarded when they succeed. They're the ones building our country. Our new government has done more than Pierre Poilievre could imagine in his lifetime in politics. I may be giving him too much credit because I say he could imagine if he had some imagination and didn't just mimic Donald Trump.
Today I'm announcing Canada First Conservative will cut income taxes by 15% for the average worker or $2,000 for the average couple. This is a tax cut for seniors, for the workers behind me, for the waitress, for the welder, for the barber. This is a tax cut for everybody who has ever got up early in the morning and worked hard to build our country. This is a tax cut that will put Canada first.
How the hell do you intend to do that? One of the parties said we will cut the expenses. Okay, is it the right time to cut the expenses when the moment is more appropriate to support enterprise companies and jobs? And the other party says we will cut expenses and we will cut taxes. There's no way on earth one can manage that.
Mark Carney, having proven time and time again to get over these hurdles to ensure that we meet the challenge and succeed.
Is there any reason, so is it just Mark Carney? That's the difference? That's why Canadians should all of a sudden feel that 10 years of deficit spending will come to an end?
I now realize that the leader of the Greens were not invited. As well, we have the debates in French and in English. The 16th and 17th are the date. I look forward to those debates.
And the fact that Mark Carney has now refused to participate in this debate will cancel this debate. Canceling this debate is insulting to Quebecers. It takes away an opportunity to hear from people on issues that matter to the people of Quebec.
I want to challenge Mark Carney to show up for the debate at TVA in Quebec. He's running away and hiding because he's too weak to defend the lost Liberal decade or explain why he thinks Liberals deserve a 4th term. If he is afraid to have the debate, how is he going to have the courage to stand up against Donald Trump?
That CSIS alleges India organized support for Poilievre's 2022 Conservative leadership bid. CSIS learned that Indian agents were involved in raising money and organizing within the South Asian community, and that CSIS did not share this information with Mr. Poilievre because he does not have the necessary security clearance.
I won the leadership fair and square. Even my political competitor, like Mr. Patrick Brown, have publicly testified under oath that that was the case.
I think that Pierre Poilievre is right now, and he has always been right when he has refused these so-called security briefings because it would require him to say that he wouldn't do his job.
Look, Mr. Poilievre doesn't understand the world. Mr. Poilievre is a lifelong politician.
He says he knows how the world works. He knows how to make it work for him.
And what we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff.
We will defend our workers. We'll defend our companies. We'll defend our country. And we'll defend it together.
Now is the time to take back control and relaunch our economy, so that we can confront the president's unjustified threats and tariffs in a position of strength. We will do this for our people, for our land, for our home, for Canada first, for a change.
We had a very constructive discussion.
This is no April Fool's joke. Many Canadians seeing significant drops at the pump.
A major political story. It broke overnight just before midnight. This is the story of Liberal candidate Paul Chang running for re-election. He was in the riding of Markham-Unionville in the Greater Toronto area. Now, we were covering this so closely yesterday as calls mounted for Mark Carney to withdraw Chang's candidacy. This is all about comments he made about a Conservative candidate. So there have been major developments, as I say, on this through the evening hours. Where are we now? What is Paul Chang now saying?
So just before midnight, Paul Chang withdrew. He said that he was becoming a distraction in the election and that could not stand. Of course, that was just hours after the RCMP said they were looking into comments that Chang made about Conservative candidate Joe Tay. This was back in January. Chang suggested to Chinese language media that people could hand over Tay to the Chinese consulate for a reward offered by police in Hong Kong. Joe Tay is a democracy advocate. He's a free speech advocate. He was targeted for that reason. He's running for the Conservatives in Don Valley North.
Whether or not you are putting appeal to those voters who may support the policies of China ahead dissidents who have called Canada home?
Absolutely not. Mr. Chang has long history of service to that community, history of protecting those rights. Mr. Chang is well aware of these issues, including having family in Hong Kong.
How can he be an effective representative for them when they no longer trust him after he said this? The question, as you know, Mr. Carney, you know that Canada has executed 4 Canadians this year.
China.
You know that there are human rights activists in China in detention right now. How can Mr. Chang, how can your party keep him as a candidate knowing this context?
Mr. Chang has apologized for his comments. It's a lapse of judgment. He's apologized for his comments. He's apologized directly to me. He's apologized directly to the individual. He's going to continue his candidacy.
It is a teachable moment. It teaches us that Mark Carney will never stand up for Canada.
He will not be running in Markham Unionville, and the Liberals will have to find another candidate.
I am in a unique position in this federal election. I am the only person who can say that both of the men running to be Prime Minister once worked for me. My choice, without hesitation, without equivocation, without a shadow of a doubt, is Pierre Poilievre.
I wanted to ask about your rallies.
Thank you.
And whether size matters.
To have 10 or 15,000 people at one political rally, this is a movement like we've never seen because people want change.
Let's just pause and point out they have blown a 25 fucking point lead, which is like, you know, you want to talk, we talk sometimes about campaign malpractice. Blowing a 25-point lead and being like 10 points down is fucking campaign malpractice at the highest fucking level. And I'm sorry to have to point that out, Conservatives. But
Liberals and lobbyists want to focus, want me to stop talking about high food prices. Well, I'm not going to do that because single mothers shouldn't be going to bed hungry, worried about how they're going to feed their kids in the morning.
In a meeting that you also held with a pro-Beijing group. So my question is, why did you meet with this pro-Beijing group?
I'm sorry, but you can't believe everything you read in the Globe and Mail. So in your question, we didn't have a set-up meeting with this group. Check your sources before you write things like that.
Ottawa's foreign interference watchdog says it has found a website linked to China targeting Liberal leader Mark Carney.
Intelligence reporting links the Yoli Yomian account to the PRC, Chinese Communist Party, Central Political and Legal Affairs Commission.
The Election Task Force found the website amplified stories about Carney on the Chinese social media platform WeChat. Most of the posts are positive toward Carney.
What are they molding? Nice things about him. What a tough guy he is, how he can take on the American. Point here is, has anybody learned anything from the foreign interference inquiry or not?
Liberal staffers were behind an operation intended to plant buttons at an event for Conservatives. Now, 2 Liberal operatives went to the Canada Strong and Free Network conference last week, and they planted buttons that had a pro-Trump message, one that said stop this, to tie Canadian Conservatives to the MAGA movement in the United States.
On behalf of my campaign, I was unaware of this behavior, but on behalf of my campaign, I apologize for it unreservedly. This behavior, unacceptable, cannot happen again.
Your vote does matter. If you want someone to hold government to account, if you want someone that's going to fight to make things happen for working class people, for middle class people, that's what we have done in the past. That's what we have done as a party, and you'll need that now more than ever. I ask Canadians to consider who's going to fight for you, who's going to stand up for you, who's going to fight for the things you need, relief when it comes to your groceries, homes you can afford, make sure that EI covers workers who are now worried about losing their jobs. In all of this, New Democrats will have your back, so send more New Democrats to Ottawa.
Breaking news in the federal leaders' debate. The Leaders' Debates Commission is rescinding its invitation to Green Party co-leader Jonathan Pedneau.
Mr. Poilievre is not Justin Trudeau. I'm not Justin Trudeau either, okay?
In this election, the question is, who is going to succeed? Who is going to face Mr. Trump?
Mr. Carney, you're repeating exactly the same promises that Justin Trudeau has been making for 10 years.
For me, now is the time to invest, not cut. It is the time to protect what we hold dear, our farmers, our culture, the French language.
Retaliation is going to hurt the states, but we have to negotiate in a rational way, and we shouldn't fall to fear.
In your estimation, was Justin Trudeau a good prime minister?
How many genders are there?
Why do you think it's ethically acceptable to marginalize conservatives?
That you stay silent about ongoing attacks against Christians.
I think we have to sort of address the elephant in the room. How are these people chosen to answer these questions?
Spent years running against Justin Trudeau and the carbon tax, and they're both gone.
Brexit happened, even if you were against it. Will you look at the camera in the eye and apologize to the many people who suffered as a result of the inflationary policies that you advised Justin Trudeau to implement?
I'm ready. I've managed crises over the years. I've built strong economy. We will fight back with counter tariffs. We will protect our workers.
With change, we can restore the Canadian promise so that hard work gets you a beautiful house on a safe street under a proud flag. We can do it with hope for a change.
And what I really don't enjoy is that everyone else here was being respectful, following the rules. What you guys decided to do was to take advantage.
Sorry to announce that there will be no scrum tonight with the leaders because we don't feel that we can actually guarantee a proper environment for this activity.
This is where the national Canadian election debate has ended up. Why did you pick Carleton? Is this targeting Pierre Poilievre for a specific reason?
So this time we figured we're going to do this in Mark Carney's writing and in Pierre Poilievre's writing. We were about to actually do this in Nepean. However, we just couldn't get the amount of signatures required to do this in Mark Carney's writing.
7.3 million people voted at advanced polls over the last 4 days. That's a 25% increase from the 2021 election.
This photo will define this Canadian election.
I asked you about this on March 28th after the call, and you said that President Trump respected Canada's sovereignty both privately and in his public conversations.
He did.
Were you being truthful?
Treated me as the prime minister, but the president says lots of things. But the essence of the discussion and where we moved the conversation to was exactly what I said.
There's an emergency. Do we have a firefighter in the house? You have a firefighter? Okay. Mark Carney's pants are on fire again today. Can you help? Mark Carney was caught lying about the Trump telephone call.
All right, everyone, get out to vote for a change. Thank you.
This is the ballot you're dealing with.
Yeah.
In Carleton, right? This is what the longest ballot. This is what 91 names look like, right? And you gotta do this to kind of find Pierre Poilievre. He's right there, by the way, on the ballot.
CTV News Decision Desk declaring a Liberal win. We know that the Liberals will be forming the next government of Canada.
As I've been warning for months, America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us.
Poilievre lost the seat he's held for nearly 2 decades to Liberal candidate Bruce Fanjoy.
My purpose in politics is and will continue to be to restore that promise.
NDP lost official party status, falling to 7 seats. Party leader Jagmeet Singh also lost his. He is stepping down as leader.